Hi there, my name is Kimberly Inez Mays, and this is Kenzo Lorenzo Black. So, for those who don't know us, we demystify technology for businesses so that they can generate and nurture leads with marketing, technology, automation, and AI. So, without further ado, I'm just going to get into the topic for today, and it's a little bit of a somber one depending on who you are, but it is that TikTok is officially inaccessible in the United States. It's gone. And it doesn't surprise me and it doesn't make me happy to announce or say that, although I did not really build up a following on TikTok or really invest in TikTok that much. I know a lot of peers and friends who did. So I am very sensitive to the fact that there is lost streams of revenue, a lot of lost streams of revenue actually. And it kind of sucks, right? It kind of sucks when you put all of your work, your creative energy, and your talents into a platform, and now that platform is no longer a thing. It really sucks when you put all your efforts and creative talents into anything and that thing is taken away from you. Because now it's like, where do you go from here? Where do you go from here? And that's what I want to talk about today. And it's not necessarily a video about TikTok, it's a video just about the longevity of content and really knowing where to put all of your eggs. As you may know, or as it said, don't put all of your eggs in a single basket. And I totally agree with that. For that reason, I am completely platform agnostic. And what that means is that when I teach, right, I don't teach a specific software or a platform. Sorry, I'm just adjusting my monitor or my camera. I don't teach a particular software or platform, but what I do is I teach concepts, and I teach concepts that have longevity and that stand the test of time for whatever strategy or whatever product or service that you have, because the platforms that you use are always going to change. And it's always about staying ahead of the system, diversification, and also building your own ecosystem. And I'll talk about what that looks like. So number one, just about just diversification in general, is that you really want to make sure that you're not devoting everything into one platform and that you have multi-channels in which to get your content out there. And I teach content repurposing so much because I find that a lot of people really invest in Facebook Lives, or they might just have the singular YouTube channel, or maybe in this instance, as we're talking about TikTok, just a single TikTok channel or TikTok profile. And, you know, it's one of those things. It's like, if you're not paying for it, you are the product. And at the end of the day, since you haven't really paid them, and even if you have paid them, they don't owe you anything. And that's a hard pill to swallow, and that's not something I enjoy saying, but you're not owed a platform. You're not owed a stage, right? Anything that you're owed is something that you've built yourself. And let's talk about building your own ecosystem. I know that when I talk about email marketing, I get a couple of responses. I get responses like, well, everybody's on like social media now. You don't need to build an email list. Oh, you don't really need a website. Oh, you don't really need this or that. You can go out there and get it for free. You can go out there and put your videos here, put your videos there. And I'm like, all right, cool. But did you know that I've been in email marketing since the early 2000s, and it's still a thing? And you know what's not a thing? MySpace, Vine, and some of the other platforms are not a thing. And they are actually much younger than email marketing. So when I talk about email marketing, don't think that, okay, it's something only people of the past use, like an old relic of AOL or something like that. No, it's still very relevant. And why I talk about building an email list and nurturing that list and making sure that you own your own list is because of things like this. Platforms going away. Even if the platform hasn't gone away, a lot of times I've seen people just locked out of their accounts entirely, locked out of entire Facebook groups that they've built, audiences that they've built, and it's kind of a shame. But then again, I say, if you're not paying for the platform, you are the product, and that is exactly what is happening and what has happened over the years. And it's not just specific to TikTok. As of this recording, Facebook is also changing its moderation policies. And I'm not going to get into the politics of is that good or bad, because that's not really what I'm here for. But I do know that the content moderation change pissed off a lot of people, makes a lot of people unhappy. It makes a lot of people unwilling to use certain platforms. Even when Twitter became X, there were people who were like, okay, I don't want to use this platform anymore. Okay, fine. But that's all the more reason why you need your own ecosystem, why you need your own space to take your audience with you as you leave one platform for another, or as that platform becomes inaccessible. So that's really what I wanted to say. It could be painful, but it's packed with lessons for building something that you own and something that you can't have taken away from you. And when I say that you own your list, you literally do that, even if you use one software over another, right? For example, I talk about different types of platforms you can use for email marketing, all the way down from MailChimp, which is really good for entry-level business owners and marketers, all the way up to something like, Go High Level, Keep, there's so many. And sometimes I'll get that stray person that says, oh, what about this? What about that? Like, yeah, if it works for you, if you like it, I love it. But at the end of the day, if you can download your data from it, you can download your names, your emails, your addresses, and all of that, all of the audience and all of the contents the contacts that you've built up, then that is truly your system, because you can easily download that and go to another platform, right? And that's what I teach. I teach like how to bring people into your ecosystem, whether you're using a Teachable or a Kajabi, or if you're using anything like a course platform, even an online shopping cart. You want to make sure that you're able to download your data and you're able to download the specifics of who's interacting with you, right? Like, for example, if you're building up a Facebook group, or if you're building up just an Instagram following, you don't have that information about your followers. You can't take that from Meta. You can't take that from I'm trying to think, Amazon too, if people buy your product. You can't easily download that. That belongs to that company. And so you want to make sure that you are investing in tools that does allow you to download the data, that will allow you to see who is interacting with you, who are your warmest leads, who are your most active fans, so that as you leave one platform, you can take that with you, contact them, and build up somewhere else. And I don't really care what types of platforms you use, whether you use shopping carts, e-commerce, courses, email marketing. It's really important that you own your data, definitely, because platforms are going to come and go. I don't know what's going to be the hottest thing in 2026. No one knows. And now with the explosion of like generative AI and all of these other things, who knows what direction anything is going in at this point in time. But the same principles that I applied in early 2000s through like my work in corporate America with database marketing are still the same as they are today. Nothing has changed. You need a database. You need a database of people, because at the end of the day, you need people to make your business profitable. You need to be able to reach people. You need to be able to speak to them. You need to be able to find them where they are. And email is one of those things that just stood the test of time. And if not only email, because let's face it, a lot of these platforms also collect more than email. Now you have SMS marketing, and then you can also have direct marketing with physical addresses. Whatever the case may be, whatever it looks like for your business, you need to learn these principles outside of a particular platform. You need to know, okay, what do I do? What offer do I have? Or what's my offer? Who's it for? And what value does it bring? And those are just the basic things of business, right? No matter if you're using TikTok, Instagram, Facebook groups, or if you're on X, if you're doing this course or that course, you just need to remember those fundamental things. And you don't really want to get too caught up in the weeds of what you're using. You just want to get caught up with your own strategy and how are you going to reach people where they are. And if that platform becomes unavailable, what is your backup? What is your next step? I recently taught a workshop for podcasters, and I talked about how to then take your listeners and bring them into your ecosystem. And I mentioned several tools. I mentioned some tools like for example, email marketing, if you have supplemental materials for that episode or supplemental materials for the entire podcast, that's another way to take them off the podcast and bring them into your own ecosystem. For example, I have invested in courses from YouTube creators, content creators, and podcasters alike. And when I invest in those courses, guess what? They have my data. So if they are no longer on those platforms and they set up shop somewhere else, they're able to easily find me. And I talked about email, I talked about e-commerce, I talked about communities that they can build. I talked about, what else did I talk about? I talked about quite a bit. Oh yeah, shopping carts, so many things. But what I did not go into the weeds about were the particular pieces of software on the market. Because let's face it, there's hundreds, and I'm only a singular human being, and I cannot possibly know what is popping up all over the world or who is building what at any time. So I say I teach the concept and you find something that applies. And if you like it, I love it, right? But at the end of the day, as long as you have access to get the data from that platform and you're able to reach the people that you need to reach, then it's your ecosystem. Well done. That is what we're all going for. So that's all I got to say about that. I sincerely hope that TikTok does come back. I enjoyed using the platform just as a user, and I don't agree with the ban. I don't agree with the block. I do sympathize with people who are affected, because at the end of the day, it's a lot of money being lost. It's a lot of hours, blood, sweat, and tears that people have put into it. And I do think that, it's really unfortunate, but it's also a lesson that we can all take away, is to really own your data. Before I say that's all I got to say about that, I do have one more thing to say. I teach these concepts on a regular through my Automated Thought Leader Academy. And this is why I set up this academy. I set it up to be completely platform agnostic so that you can learn how to apply these strategies to any particular piece of software out there. But I understand that the landscape and the wilderness of platforms is just going to be so overwhelming to a lot of people. And so the Automated Thought Leader Academy is one way that you can get to where you need to be a lot faster than you would if you were doing it all by yourself. So here's what it looks like. Every month we have a specific challenge and a workshop, and we work through it together so that we can learn a new topic, apply what we've learned, and then use that in our business. But outside of that too, I do have an entire course library of workshops and boot camps and courses and things that I've put together over the past 6 years that teach these exact same concepts. So whether you're starting out or whether you are kind of intermediate and you kind of figure, you know what you want to do, or even whether you're advanced too, because I love working with advanced people, there's something in it for you. And then twice a month we have Q&A sessions in which you can literally ask me anything and we can work on your particular challenge, your project, your landing page, your funnel, whatever you've got going on, seriously. But I just want to leave you with that, is that definitely take the time to just learn basic concepts. Take the time to learn database marketing, data management, because it's going to put you so much further ahead than just relying on a single platform alone. So with that, that's all I got to say about that. All right, so I will speak to you next time. And remember, own your data, set up your own ecosystem, and I'll see you later. Bye.